Alright, so I got a Wi-Fi battle here against some faggot I found in the Serby chat room. I forget his name. I'm just going to call him Ownage, or I'll just call him Dick, because this guy's just, I don't know, he was an asshole during the battle, so fuck this guy. So, I'm posting it because he got owned by me. So he sets up some stealth rocks, and I'm going to encore him into it, and then I'm like, alright, he's going to switch out, but he doesn't, he stays in, so I get a paralyze on him, and that's, I'm going to put on some music. And yeah, I get some swagger, some parafusion on him, and now all I can do is hit himself in confusion or use stealth rocks again, so I don't know why the hell he's staying in here. I guess he's kind of like gay for this Pokemon who probably like tries to touch wieners with it and stuff, and honestly, he was trying to touch wieners with me before we started, and I was just like, dude, I'm not trying to touch wieners with you. So, he goes into this Ampharos, and I bring in my Slowking and go for a Surf on the switch, and he switches into this guy. And he sets up a light screen, so I'm just kind of like, whatever, I don't even care. I thought he was going to go for some kind of move, so I go for the slack off just to scout for how much damage it would do. And now he's going to go for the discharge, and I'm pretty sure I can take that nicely. Yeah, it does about, actually that's not that nicely, I kind of lied. This battle was forever ago, so I kind of forget everything that happened. So he's going to go for a discharge, that's going to do about half. I'm going to set up a Calm Mind next, and that's going to make it so I can take the next one better and then slack off damage, and yeah. So that's pretty weird. So slack off, got my damage back. I'm just going to hit him up with some Surf now. Yeah, no, he switches out. He goes into this guy, which was basically, I guess he had some kind of ninjask and got aborted because he's got this Shedinja, which is some kind of like shell of a dead baby. So I can't really touch it, so I'm going to go into this guy, and really, I want to go for a Will-O-Wisp, because that's all I have that can touch this thing, but he doesn't know that, because I carry, Earth Power instead of Flamethrower, just kind of for surprises. So I set up Stealth Rocks, because I know he's probably going to switch out expecting Will-O-Wisp or Fire move, and now you can't switch back in without dying, so yeah, fuck you, Dick. He tricks me a Choice Scarf, and that sucks pretty hardcore, because he's going to go for a Signal Beam, and that's going to be enough to 2-hit KO me. And I'm just going to go for a Surf, because Slowking, when he's got a, whatchamacallit, Choice Scarf really doesn't help me out much. So he goes for a Shadow Ball, and that's definitely going to take me out, and that's whatever, because I don't really give a fuck. And in comes Punani, and he's looking pretty. Hey, look at that guy. He's a pretty nice guy. I'm pretty happy I'm using him. And he switches out expecting whatever move, and I was expecting him to hit me with the move, so I go for the Endure to get my Salac Berry, and then just sweep this entire team right off the back, and nothing bad happened whatsoever. But that doesn't happen. So I go for the Zen Headbutt, and I get a flinch, which is cool, and then I get a Parallax, which is even better, because this guy was just getting so mad over this. He was just whining and crying, and it was just terrible. God, fuck this guy. So he goes into his Ampharos now, and I'm going to go for an Endure. I think he's going to go for whatever move, but he goes for a Thunder Wave, and that sucks. So, because now I'm like slow, and my Salac Berry will put me over like 120 speed, which isn't really anything. So he's going to get in this Crawdaunt, expecting my Zen Headbutt, which is pretty good play on his part. It doesn't affect him. I go into Stay Puft just so I can encore him into the Dragon Dance, because I feel like these things looking pretty slow. I mean, I don't really have any experience with it. So I go for the Encore, and he switches into this guy. At least, no, I think I go for the Stun Spore. Yeah, Stun Spore. And I was going to go in this fat nigga, and I'm like, dude, get this guy out of here. I'm not trying to, like, play with this guy right now. So I go for Sleep Powder, and that's going to put him to sleep, and you can't really do anything. So I'm going to go into my Precious and get some Intimidate on it, and hit him up with a Return. Right? No, he switches out, and he goes into Ampharos, and I get Static. Static, I think. I really hope I get Static after making that big scene over it. So yeah, Static. Bullshit. I get Paralyzed, and now he goes for a Thunder Wave, which he was going for anyway, so I guess the Static really didn't matter, but whatever. So I go for a Return now, and that's going to hit him up pretty good. So he goes back into this guy, and now he's not asleep anymore because he heal-belled with Ampharos. So I'm going to switch out and go into Stay Puff as Death Fodder, because I'm not trying to have Tauros take a Return from this guy, because it's like get raped up the ass by a Return or switch into Stay Puff. So that's what I do. So I go into Eben now because I'm pretty sure I'm going to go for the Will-O-Wisp while he slacks off, but he just switches out and goes into this Espeon, which is cool too, so I can just Will-O-Wisp this guy. And now they got some kind of status on him. That's just what's up. Nothing's really going on with him. I switch out to go into Punani because I'm not trying to take a Psychic with my physical wall. Now I'm not watching the battle because I'm changing the song that was on. So just give me like 1 second. So yeah. Now I'm into Foxtrot. I don't know how that happened because I wasn't paying attention. So I go for the Fire Blast, and that's going to hurt him pretty nicely. I don't even have a nasty plot up, I don't think. So I know I can hurt him pretty good with a Fire Blast, even without the nasty plot. So I just stay in, but he gets me with a Sucker Punch, and that's going to be enough to take me out, especially with the crit, which really did not matter. So I go into Precious and get an Intimidate on him, and he's going to be slacking off this turn, so nothing's really going to go down. I go for a Return, and does it take him out? No, it doesn't take him out. So now I'm afraid, so I switch out into Eben again to take this hit. And he goes for a Sucker Punch, which was stupid on his part because I'm paralyzed and he would outspeed. So I don't know what the hell he was thinking. So now I get to use my Earth Power, and that's going to take him out. He's going to go to a Crawdaunt, which apparently could take out the rest of my team, according to him. But it does not, because he goes for a Waterfall, and that's going to take this guy out. And then I want to go into Tauros, and with the Intimidate, which I don't get because he has Hyper Cutter, but he's going to go for like a Crunch or something, and I'm going to survive it, and then take him out with the Giga Impact. So, he was saying that I'm some kind of a bitch because I wasn't supposed to take this hit, but obviously he's just not pro enough to take me out. So I go for the Giga Impact, and fuck that Crawdaunt, and fuck this guy, because I'm just too good. So, yep, that's game. Challenge me, because I'm not motivated enough to post more battles if I'm not.